right field. Jordan Beck, Alan Trejo starting 9. And Bailey Falter set to face Brenton Doyle.
And there's Bailey Falter's Pennsylvania State Lottery numbers. His 7th start, 32 innings, 23 strikeouts and 7 walks.
Well, a little bit up. Home plate umpires Doug Eddings will be the crew chief today. Falter made 3 relief appearances as a Philly against the Rockies.
Well, that's where you're going to see him try to live. Bailey Falter, we mentioned it in the pregame. Top of the zone with that 4-seam fastball with elite spin on it. And in, up and in particular to the right-handed hitters.
1-2 now on Doyle. 1 for 8 in the series. He was hitless in 3 plate appearances last night and struck out each time against Jared Jones. Just an incredible start for Jones. Everybody was 0 for except for one guy, Elias Diaz, the only man to reach. Jones, Colin Holderman, and David Bednar retired 27 of 28 hitters. And you're talking about over 120 years now that a Pirates team pitching staff shut down an opponent like that. In the left center field. And a nice running catch for Brian Reynolds. Seemed to have it under control the whole way. Hooking toward him. Doyle is the first out.
Yeah, Brian Reynolds ends up running a long way to get this ball. As you mentioned, he looked like he had it in his sights the entire time, but still ends up needing to slide to secure the catch.
HN Supermo look, and Falter liked it. Now Bryant McMahon comes to the plate and takes ball 1. McMahon homered the opening game of this series, his 5th of the year, into the Allegheny River. Hit that off the left-hander Martin Perez. Backhand Cruz. 2 outs. So Cruz on to Tellez. You see the Pirates defensively. Ke'Bryan Hayes over there at third with Cruz. Alika Williams getting the start at second base. Tellez at first. Our Levin Furniture and Mattress defense, with Williams giving Triolo the day off. But in the outfield, you saw Reynolds, Jack Sawinski in center, Connor Joe in right. It's Monty Grandal, back-to-back starts. Diaz, the DH. He caught yesterday and was the designated hitter the opening game of the series. He has 3 hits in 7 at-bats and batting over 300. He had the only hit of the game. He was the only base runner yesterday. Jared Jones fell behind 3-1 on Diaz, and he ripped a double to left. And that's where he was stranded. Last time a Pirates pitching staff shut down an opponent like they did yesterday was April of 1991 against the Mets, a 4-0 win. 1 base runner and a shutout victory.
Ball just bearing in Elias Diaz, and even the ball's down, the hitters are swinging underneath it. That tells you what it must look like from the batter's box against Bailey Falter.
That's Falter's game right there. Get a chase upstairs, and he got Diaz. 1, 2, 3. Pirates come to bat. Marine, the pitching coach, who's lost about 40 pounds. Derek Shelton told us today that Oscar Marine ran the half marathon today.
Good for him.
Yeah. Connor Joe leads off for the Pirates. Brian Reynolds next, then Ke'Bryan Hayes, O'Neill Cruz cleanup, Rowdy Tellez, Edward Olivares the DH, Jack Sawinski, Yasmani Grandal, and Alika Williams against Ryan Feltner. Joe was 2 for 3 with a walk and a line out yesterday.
Feltner, he's coming off a really good start down in Miami last time out. He's going to be featuring mainly a slider four-seam changeup combination. And there's his numbers for him. His 7th start, 5.13 ERA. 10 walks, 33 strikeouts, strikeout an inning. Said the fastball has some giddy up.
Bouchard in right. Joe retired. And we check out the Rockies defense presented by Phil DeLucenti and Associates. It's Ryan McMahon, Alan Trejo, Brennan Rogers, Elliot Harris, Montero, the outfielders Beck, Doyle, Bouchard. Stallings catches Feltner. Reynolds hitless in the series. Just 1 for his last 11. Not much of a history for the Pirates against Feltner. Lined to first.
Yeah, the only guy in the lineup today with more than 3 at-bats, Rowdy Tellez. He's 4 for 6. 3 doubles in his career, so you'd love to see that trend continue for Rowdy Tellez as we hope that he can get going here like we know he can.
You can hear Doug Eddings say ball that's down to Hayes, who's 1 for 8 in the series. That one hit last night. A double under the glove of the third baseman McMahon in the 6th. A little tapper and a fair ball. Stallings throws out Hayes. Both clubs go down 1-2-3 after 1. Save 3 cents off per gallon every day and every trip. By your Western PA Chevy dealers, Chevrolet, together let's drive. By Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. And by the law firm of Bordas & Bordas, official legal partner of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Scoreless through 1, and Bailey Falter now faces the cleanup hitter, Eli Harris Montero. 1 for 7 in the series. Fouled back out of play. We're keeping one eye on Victory Field in Indianapolis, where Paul Skeens is starting for the Pirates AAA affiliate, the Indians. And Skeens has given up a first inning run. Just walked a man, given up 2 hits through his half inning. Some believe, a lot of fans believe, that this could be Skeens' last minor league start. Montero, count of 1-1. Not what Falter wanted there. 2 balls and a strike on the first baseman. Montero had an RBI single off Martin Perez on Friday. Rockies' highest strikeout percentage in the National League. Over 27% of the time. They have the 2nd lowest walk percentage in the league. 7.2%. That combination, one of the big reasons this offense has struggled to this point. And the Rockies 8-25 on the year. Cruz.
And the pitch arsenal Brought to you by your local Honda dealers for Bailey Falter. As you see, 60%, almost 60% on that four-seam usage. And tack on another 7 for the two-seam. The slider and the curveball. Look at that four-seam fastball, 119 again. My goodness.
That's crazy. Curveball from Falter, a strike to Brendan Rodgers, and already the dugout of the Rockies giving it to Doug Eddings, the acting crew chief. Jacob Metz takes over the duties for Mark Carlson, who leaves this crew. He had been the crew chief the first 2 games. Now it's Eddings, Dan Merzel at second, Stu Shearwater at third. 0-2. Buddy Black, his club trying to win its first series of the year. He's in his 8th season as the Rockies skipper, 9 years in San Diego. Former big league pitcher. Ball is a fair ball into the right field corner. It goes. And that's a double for Brendan Rodgers.
Rodgers decides all these fastballs in the inner half, guys are trying to pull him. He says, you know what, let me just try to stay inside one of these and see what happens, and punches one down that right field line for an easy double.
Stallings was 2 out of 4 on Friday, and in 13 games with the Rockies is hitting .364, the former Pirate. Runner at second, 1 out. Back to the breaking ball. 6-game hitting streak for Jacob Stallings. He's hit safely in 8 of his 11 starts. Signed as a free agent over the winter. With the Marlins last year, played in 89 games with the Fish. Gold Glove winner with the Pirates in 2021. Hammers that ball to center. Sawinski back. And Jacob Stallings hits a bomb to center field on a 1-2 pitch, his second of the year, and gives the Rockies a 2-0 lead.
I was just going to mention Jacob Stallings having a really good start offensively to this year. Of course, we know the defensive acumen. And this, a fastball that just catches too much of the plate. And those balls right there that end up middle, especially up when you're looking in, can almost just run right into that barrel. And Stallings, 6'5", 230, 225. Got some pop when he gets a barrel to it.
And you don't think he wanted that, the former Pirate, against his former club, the team that drafted him? He never shows that kind of reaction. One ball, one strike on Bouchard. Jacob Stallings, 414 feet. That's the 6th allowed by Falter this year. It's always been an issue for Falter. He will give up the long ball. Watch Stallings again react. Obviously meaningful, and his teammates know it. Just his 26th career home run. Looks like Bouchard thought that was strike 3.
It did, didn't it?
He'd walk back to his dugout. Whoops.
Okay.
Got one more.
Well, and yeah, with Falter, for me, it's like Jared Jones. You know that fastball is the best pitch in the arsenal, and a lot of times you're going to get clipped from time to time, and you hope that it's just a solo or a 2-run home run max.
And this is down the line. That's going to be another one. Bouchard. Really a no-doubter down the left field line for Bouchard, back-to-back. Colorado Rockies take a 3-0 lead off Bailey Falter. Bouchard's first of the season.
Well, that's another one. Actually, a pretty good spot, especially just for how tough we've seen opposing hitters have with that ball up, even at the velocity it's at. Almost like Bouchard was kind of just looking for a ball at the very top of the zone and got it.
Sean Bouchard in the lineup in right field.
First Major League home run? Or do you have the line?
First this year, yeah. It's 8, I think, in his career now. But two guys that you certainly don't think about having a lot of pop, hitting home runs here, back to back. So Falter, this is his 7th start this season. He gave up 5 in 5 innings against Oakland on the road. How about the fact that Bouchard thought he had struck out? He was walking toward the dugout at one pitch, and he got another shot and made it count.
I'll admit that there have been times where I forgot how many balls there are, but you never forget how many strikes there are. Every once in a while you'll get an umpire that has a really quiet strike call, and maybe you'll miss one early in the count, but with so much technology and so many balls and strikes on scoreboards all over the ballpark, it's very rare that you don't know the count in these days.
You don't think his teammates let him know that, do you?
I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Fly ball to right. Connor Joe. So Rogers doubled, then Stallings and Bouchard go back to back. 3-0. Faces off against Ottawa. O'Neal Cruz leads off, down 3. Cruz 0 for 3 last night with an intentional walk. That was in the 9th inning when Michael Taylor was on deck. They walked Cruz to load the bases, and then Pirates pinch hit Jack Sawinski, and he delivered the walk-off. Tellez to follow, and then Olivares. Martin Perez there, and Andy Rodriguez giving Cruz the business. 1 ball, 1 strike. He launched one into the river. The opening game of the series in the 9th inning. The lefty Jalen Beeks. They had the third baseman there at short, McMahon. Hard hit, but at him.
Well, you hope that swing off the bat of O'Neal Cruz on Friday night was maybe going to catapult, give a little momentum to this Pirates offense into yesterday's game, and it didn't, but we at least got the win nonetheless. It doesn't matter how pretty it can be. I'd love today to see, a string of at bats that, maybe not necessarily scoring multiple runs, but strings of at bats where you're grinding out at bats. And O'Neal Cruz, that was a good at bat right there. Hit a ball on the screws, just right at the third baseman. But you'd love to see a string of at-bats where guys are hitting the ball hard and pushing the envelope and putting some pressure on these opposing pitchers, because that's such an important piece and element during a game is to make that pitcher not just work physically but mentally as well, be on the ropes at times.
Which is what the Pirates are doing that first week and a half.
Yeah. The walks and the 7, 8, 9 pitch at bats.
The grind them out ABs that we've talked about that we saw. Well, we saw a few of them last night. We saw Brian Reynolds the 9th inning on Friday. And Tellez, who has those good career numbers against Feltner, flies out softly to right, 2 down. Connor Joe really solid at bats last night.
Brian Reynolds has had a handful of them in this series.
He drew that walk before the Cruz. Reynolds had that walk before the Cruz home run we talked about. And Joe again last night. Good work. Strike on Olivares.
Well, and for the most part, Olivares, his first 3 weeks, 4 weeks of the season, we saw him just barreling everything up that was being thrown to him. And since it's just cooled off just a little bit, as you can see by the numbers. But we know that's part of his game, just kind of finding barrels and using the whole field. But hitting is contagious in both directions.
Two. Feltner, who's really had quite a comeback after a horrific injury last year. Fractured skull. Back on May the 13th against the Phillies. 2nd inning, Nick Castellanos hit one back to the box. He tried to turn and duck, but ended up with a fractured skull, ended up on the 60-day injured list. Made his return in September. A little soft serve, and that'll work. A 2-2 pitch. Olivares has a 2-out single.
Now we've seen Olivares with the hit tool, I like to call it, of just finding that barrel. This is not necessarily off the barrel, but it's going down with 2 strikes, protecting, using the whole field, finding ways to find some real estate. And now here comes the hero from yesterday. Let's see if we can get him going today too. That'd be nice.
Shortstop over by second. Close play. Trejo throws out Sawinski. 3-0 through 2. .com. Check out the largest selection of official caps, jerseys, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your Pirates at MLBshop.com. Well, kids, Sunday here at PNC Park. The homestand continues tomorrow. The Angels come in. Interleague play, 3 games with the Angels, off day Thursday, and then the Cubbies next weekend.
It's only the 3rd time ever that the Angels have come to PNC Park.
Didn't realize that.
I saw 2004, man. 2016.
Line picked on the short hop there by Hayes. Doyle retired.
And this is one of your biggest fears as a third baseman when you're in with a right-hander, especially a leadoff guy that can run but also has the ability to hit one down your throat per se. Brian Hayes makes this. I mean, he's playing probably 83 feet, 82 feet from home plate.
Wow, there's another nice play by Alika Williams. It does not hit the ground. McMahon is retired. 2 outs.
Well, these Rockies, 2nd time through the order, not waiting around. they're attacking fastballs off of Bailey Falter.
Hard hit balls here.
What do we considering hard hit balls again in today's?
Is it 90? Is it 95 plus considered hard hit?
I know it's somewhere around there.
I believe that's what the official term, official velo is to determine whether it's quote hard hit. And Doyle's was 98, so that qualifies.
Yeah, there's a lot of red so far in that category from both sides.
McMahon's was 104.
Yes. Yeah.
And this one is lined into right. Elias Diaz is his 4th hit of the series. A couple of former Pirates catchers in the lineup. Stallings and Diaz.
Yeah, Falter just through the second time through the order seems to be finding a lot more of that plate than I know he wants to. Let's see if he decides to kind of run away from that fastball a little bit as the second time through the order continues.
That's kind of where he likes to live, isn't it, Neil? Just that fastball just above the zone.
Yep.
Get a chase. Montero grounded out in the second. Now comes back with a curveball.
Yeah. And when you're getting those swings at the top of the zone and from the righties and in, and you start to get guys looking in there, that breaking ball and that separation of velocity between the fastball and a breaking ball or a changeup end up being really, really effective. But of course, the major league level, if you're not hitting your spots and you're behind 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, 2-0, even 3-2, you're not getting quite as many of those swings as you'd like during a start.
This is his 38th career start, 67th major league game. The former Philly was used as a starter and a reliever, mainly a starter for the Pirates when he joined the club last year. And all starts this season, number 7. Coming in with a 4.22 ERA, 32 innings, 7 walks, 23 strikeouts, and 5 home runs coming in. Now he's got 7 homers, and about 36 innings of work. Strikes out Montero, and we move now to the bottom of the 3rd. Yasmani Grandal will lead off.
Rookie, and there are still a lot of things that he needs to learn. One of the guys that he's been leaning on in order to learn is Yasmani Grandal, the Pirates catcher who made his first appearance in a Pirates uniform yesterday. Jared Jones said that he put all of his trust in him because, hey, Yasmani Grandal's done it for quite a while, and he said he tried to execute with every button he pushed. Jones said in terms of the game prep and the way Yaz goes about it actually calms him down a lot, just knowing how he attacks guys and learning that himself on how to attack and be better. He said, yes, I trust Yaz behind the plate. So it's only going to help Jones be a better pitcher, Greg.
It's nice to have a veteran, Hannah, on this staff, for the pitching staff. I guess you'd say Joey Bart is a veteran, but nothing compared to Yasmani Grandal. All the years Grandal has played in the big leagues. He grounds out to start this inning. Here's Alika Williams. .297 average, and a roller to second. So one time through the order for Feltner, really not much of a fuss here. Cruz hit a fairly hard hit ball to the shortstop position. Reynolds lined out. But that's not what the Pirates wanted to do offensively. We'll see if the second time around they didn't learn something. That first go round, Connor Joe flied to right. Neil mentioned Feltner's last start, 8 innings, 3 runs, 5 hits. Didn't walk a batter against the Marlins.
I believe 79 pitches going into that 9th inning, so very efficient as well. And he's got 29 pitches here. His 30th pitch right here with 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd. So doing a nice job getting ahead of these Pirate hitters in this first time through the order.
Grew up in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. Went to Ohio State. Drafted by the Colorado Rockies. Feltner talked about his comeback story. Fractured skull last year. He wears a protective shield inside that cap. Fly ball to right and slicing toward the line and foul. Another play and a nice catch. Worthy of applause.
Nice play down here. Look at this.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Real nice with the phone in his left hand. Now everybody's texting. 96 from Feltner. Roller. Third base bare hand play made by McMahon. 1, 2, 3 go the Pirates. Inning. Here at PNC Park, final game of this series. We lucked out with the weather. Big time. Turns out to be a nice day.
Beautiful. Beautiful day.
Brendan Rodgers takes a pitch inside. Second baseman doubled to right field in the second inning off of Bailey Falter. His double preceded the Stallings home run. Now even. Levin Furniture and Mattress strike zone, bottom of that zone. Three and two. Rodgers missed a bunch of time last year out of spring training. He suffered a left shoulder injury, required surgery. So he played in only 46 games last year. 3rd overall pick back in 2015 behind Dansby Swanson and Alex Bregman. Still 3 and 2 on Rodgers. Lines this into center. And it brings up Stallings. And Jacob Stallings homered to center field His last time up.
Well, this one, tattoo. You can see the reaction right there. Bailey Falter to this point having a tough time staying away from the barrel. That's after that Rogers hit. That's 11 of the first 14 guys that hit balls over 90 miles an hour in this game. It's been something he's just been so good about, is the weak contact and the lazy fly balls. And but you don't want to run away from your strength too much if you can. We know how effective that top of the zone fastball is.
Shortstop Cruz. Double play.
And that helps right there. 2 for the price of 1 off the bat of Jacob Stallings.
Easy for Cruz, gliding over there. Sean Bouchard now. And his first home run of the season, playing in his 11th game this year. Old foul. Past Warren Schaefer.
Western PA's own Warren Schaefer.
Pride of Greensburg Central. Oh, 1 count. He was out signing autographs before the game.
I'm sure he's got a lot of fans himself from this area. Virginia Tech, where he played his college ball.
Two and 1. And now Falter falls behind. 3 balls, 1 strike. And he walks Bouchard. That's his first free pass. He faces Jordan Beck. Bailey Falter's starts here at PNC Park have been good. His first 2 against Baltimore and the Milwaukee Brewers. 6 innings against Baltimore. 1 hit in his 6 innings of work, no runs, and against Milwaukee, 1 run and pitched into the 8th inning in that game. It was 2 starts back.
Oh,
Bouchard heads back.
Kind of dodged a bullet right there. Bouchard got a gigantic jump. And lucky for the Pirates, Jordan Beck decided he wanted to go after that and fouled it off.
And now 0-2 on Beck. 23-year-old from the University of Tennessee. 38th overall pick in the draft by the Colorado Rockies, who has now 3 hits in 19 at-bats, no walks, and 11 strikeouts. Drafted just a couple years ago. Made his major league debut Tuesday night in Miami. Backing up, and Cruz on to second. 3-0 Rockies. for Pirates Final with extended highlights and analysis, plus even more post-game reactions from inside the Pirates clubhouse. That's Pirates Final, following Pirates extra innings after games here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Here's Reynolds.
I just noticed Brian Reynolds changed his walk-up song that he's had for a couple years to Toby Keith, and
good call.
The words were kind of interesting.
Yes.
Raise up our glasses against evil forces.
Yes.
Clever.
Beer for my horses. 0-2. Yeah, he's had that walk-up for a long time. He's looking to change his luck. He is, well, not only hitless in this series, just 14 hits in his last 71 at bats, under 200 during the stretch last 20 games, only 3 extra base hits.
And if you don't think baseball players are superstitious, things like that are what guys do to try to, he clearly thinks there's some evil forces against the baseball bats recently here in the Pirates dugout. So.
Slumps are a terrible thing, aren't they, Neil? Baseball players, everybody goes through them.
And there have legitimately been times where myself, and I can speak for a lot of other players I play with, that you think that you're literally never going to get another hit again.
We kind of talked about that in our open the other day, about quotes about slumps. Keith Hernandez, now a Mets broadcaster, longtime Mets and Cardinal first baseman, said that he was in as deep a slump as he can be at one point. Said, I'm in a dark forest, no sun, no foliage, can't tell where west, east, north, or south is. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but I'm sure that's kind of the way it feels for a guy like Reynolds right now.
This ball wasn't even supposed to be there. I think if it was in the spot it was at, and Reynolds went after it, he probably would have done something with it, but kind of two-seamer starts just off the plate, just away, and runs off the plate, away from his barrel.
And now Hayes drops one into right. Coming up next weekend, May 11th, Cubs Pirates 4:05. First 20,000 fans get a free T-shirt designed by Pirates shortstop O'Neal Cruz himself, thanks to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Get your tickets at pirates.com/free T-shirts. Well, you wanted Hayes on the day they gave away his figurine to deliver, so he's got a one-out hit. Made a nice play, by the way, earlier. That short hop we talked about. Youngsters getting the Gold Glove figurines today. Cruz came in hitting 183 over his last 24 games with 34 strikeouts in his last 53 at-bats. He and Kyle Schwarber tied for the league lead in that dubious department, the strikeout category. Here, youngster enjoying the figurine.
If he holds on to it by himself, there's a good chance that won't make it home in one piece.
Yeah, real good chance.
Nonetheless.
Yep.
Cute kid.
2-2. Terry Kennedy, the former catcher of the San Diego Padres, said most slumps are like the common cold. They last 2 weeks, no matter what you do.
That's pretty good.
And boy, players try everything imaginable to break out of a slump. Richie Ashburn of the Phillies would take his bat to bed with him. He said, I wanted to know my bat a little better. hoping to get out of a slump. And pickoff try. Three and two the count on Cruz with one out. Looking for a string of hits.
Let's see if Key gets put in motion right here.
He does. And now the play.
And this is kind of what I mean, Greg. We've had such a hard time. Situation like this, 3-2, one out. We're going to take a shot right here. See Key look back to see where and if the ball's been hit. You know, you love to see a first to third right here. Ball just sneaks through the infield. Get a first to third with guys with less than 2 outs, and you're able to push the envelope and have some.
And there's a fly ball to right toward the wall, looking up, and it is off the top of the wall and bounces away from the right fielder Bouchard, and Hayes was waved, and now he's going to get back. Thankfully, Stallings couldn't find the handle. Oh my, that would have been a disaster. And is Hayes okay? Looks like he's hunched over there holding his arm.
Well, I'd like to see what happened right around second base with Ke'Bryan Hayes, because when you run 3-2, you try to look back for a second. So he sees, we just saw him right there. He sees that right fielder, Sean Bouchard, has his back to the infield. That usually means there's no chance he's probably going to track that down. And O'Neill thought it was gone, and it probably kept the Pirates from scoring a run. Key just kind of holding up for a second or two.
You know, looking at that in a crazy way, I'm just thinking that also allowed them, because Cruz thought it was a home run and wasn't running hard. That could have been a disaster, because they would have had him hung up between second and third. So because he wasn't running hard and because Stallings dropped the ball, the Pirates still in business. I think, you know, Doyle came over and did such a good job backing up Bouchard.
Watch Key. You know, the ball's hitting the air with less than 2 outs. Obviously, you got to make sure it falls, but with that wall in right field, and if you see the numbers on the outfielder's back, you have a really good chance of knowing that ball's over their head. And the Pirates just catch a really good break right there with Stallings not able to secure that cleanly.
I think Mike Rabello didn't see. Rabello, you saw him waving home Hayes. I don't think he saw Doyle come over as quickly as he did to back up Bouchard.
Yeah.
Doyle got over there in a hurry. And that ball took that bad hop past Bouchard. And rather than that ball heading toward the infield, it was Doyle. You see the center fielder come over.
Well, that's what we know about that right field wall. Everything kicks off that wall towards center field. And a nice relay just to get the ball in.
And there's a Gold Glove catcher, Stallings, looking up rather than securing the baseball. And he knows it. He had Hayes dead to rights. And Tellez now counted 3-1. And a slowly hit ground ball that will produce a run.
Okay.
Not exactly what they wanted, but they get one. And because Stallings wasn't able to find the handle, the HN Supermo look. This should have been the second out. Look how, I mean, he could almost have grabbed the ball and run a couple steps and tagged Hayes. That's how far down the line Hayes was. What a break.
Well, nonetheless,
take advantage of it.
Yep, 3-1 game now. Runner on third.
Olivares. And this is going to be out of play. Olivares, boy, if he could come up with a big 2-out hit.
Well well-placed fastball right there from Feltner.
And now with 2 strikes.
We know how good of a pitch framer Jacob Stallings is. Like he might have stole that one for Feltner.
Well, the Pirates get one, and it's 3-1. Instant oil change service you can see, experts you can trust. Here at PNC Park, O'Neal Cruz doubles off the Clemente wall, which leads to the run.
What a crazy sequence of events. I mean, off the bat, you think there's a 2-run home run.
Yeah, you're right. Whoa, look at the bare hand play by Falter.
Possible 2-run home run, possible RBI double.
Possible outs everywhere.
Oh my gosh. Almost a really good bunt by Alan Trejo. He's been grinding to find ways to get hits, and this type of stuff happens when things aren't going so hot. You get a pitcher barehand a ball.
Talking to somebody up in the press box between innings, said, asking a good question. Why did Hayes stop? Fly ball to center.
Yeah, that would probably be my biggest question in that entire sequence. If a ball's hit and you're moving, you're on the run, of course you try to look back to see if and where it's hit. And then when you do that, in this instance, you're turning to right field and looking, and you're not necessarily looking at the ball, you're looking at the fielders. When you see those numbers, the back of the jersey of an outfielder, there is a high probability that ball is over their head. And you try not to completely stop if you can as a base runner. You try to at least maybe throttle down to 30%, 40%, 50%, and then continue to go, because obviously if you stop, it just takes so much longer to get going. So that would be my only kind of question right there as to why we decided to almost fully stop or stop to a crawl, you know?
Yeah.
But fortunately for the Pirates, they're able to push at least one run across there.
One count on McMahon. Falter had a 1-2-3 first inning. That was a crazy bottom of the 4th. 1-2 count on McMahon. And there's another 1-2-3 inning for Falter.
Very nice bounce back inning right there for the Pirates. Let's see if they can keep this momentum going from last inning.
(3-1) Colorado. Tarek Brock, base running instructor, talking to O'Neal Cruz maybe about running. Got to be watching, because that was ruled a double. But that replay showed that Cruz really just went to second when the throw went toward the plate. So they probably will change that to a single, but officially it's a double for now. Sawinski grounded out in the 2nd inning. Sawinski, Grandal, and Williams against Ryan Feltner. 1-2. Sawinski goes down swinging. That's third for Feltner. And now a message from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Your headquarters for luxury mattresses. Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Switch hitting veteran catcher Yasmani Grandal, playing in his second straight Pirates game. Signed a 1-year, $2.5 million deal over the winter. .2-0 count. Last night caught Jared Jones. He caught Paul Skeens when he was down in the minor leagues, coming back from plantar fasciitis on the injured list. Skeens pitching today. Walked 3 so far. Now he just walked his 4th. Well, Paul Skeens in 4 innings plus 4 walks, 2 hits, a run, 4 strikeouts. And into right center field, and over is Doyle, and we'll go down to Hannah.
Yeah, Greg, you were just talking about Paul Skeens, and Yasmani Grandal said one thing he liked when being down in Indy was getting to catch some of the guys that could be up here like Paul Skeens. He said that after the start when he caught Skeens, he said it was very impressive to watch him execute a game plan exactly how he had it laid out to go deeper into a game. And also said after the start, one thing he said about Paul was, you see everything on the field but not behind the scenes, and the work behind the scenes is the most impressive part about him. The fact he goes about it the right way and knows what he needs to do and wants to do is good, and you don't see that in a lot of younger guys. He said both Paul and Jared Jones are absolutely electric, and I think all of us would probably agree with that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see Skeens and Jones in the same rotation. Skeens, unfortunately, his worst outing at the AAA level today. Will Robertson just hit a home run off him. So the AAA affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays touching up Skeens today. Aliko Williams with 2 outs and no one on. And 1, 2, 3. Go the Bucks. That was a look at the Rally House on-field looks. Your city, your house, Rally House. And a little flare into right for Elias Diaz. His 2nd hit today and his 5th hit of this series.
Elias Diaz hitting over 300 on the season after these last 2 hits. Kind of inside outs this ball. A falter. Just got himself into the 6th inning after a tough 2nd inning. Well, he's done a nice job after that inning, limiting damage and getting a lot of outs. And the good news for the Pirates is, if Bailey Farter's day is almost done, we got a lot of reinforcements. Haven't had to use the bullpen a whole lot.
And Sawinski makes the catch, but a little minor collision. That communication issue has cropped up this year, the outfield.
Yeah, this ball kind of exactly splits them, and as you're running out there, sometimes it's hard to hear. You can see Jack saying I got it, but we have no idea if Connor Joe could even hear anything as they're both running full speed toward that ball. Unfortunately, secured by Jack. Only 76 pitches, with one out here in the top of the sixth for Bailey Falter. Looks like Ortiz has got himself ready in the pen.
Luis Ortiz getting ready. Rogers 2 for 2. 6 hits for the Rockies. Three and one. And now it's first and second. Next Sunday is Mother's Day. We're going to talk about that, but first a pitching change. Derek Shelton is going to go to the bullpen. Luis Ortiz will be summoned. This pitching change is presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Luis Ortiz, his 11th game, 14 Ks in 17 innings, sporting a 3.18 ERA. Coming in trying to get out of this little jam here with one out as Bailey Falter exits. Well, I'd say all things considered did a pretty good job after that tough second inning of limiting heavy damage as far as the runs are concerned.
Ball one.
14 of 23 balls hit for the Rockies off of Bailey Falter over 90 miles an hour. So, like I said, all things considered, Pirates only being down 3-1 is a pretty good place to be. Hopefully you can get Stallings on the ground right here. If you can get him on the ground, you got a chance to turn 2 into 1, or 1 into 2, I mean.
That home run for Stallings in the second inning. The second in 14 games with the Rockies. And a chance for two slowly hit, so Cruz is going to settle for that one out. And that is out number 2. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Sean Bouchard comes to the plate. In the second inning, he came to the plate after the home run by Stallings. Down the left field line, 400 feet.
Sean Bouchard only hit for 214 with no homers and an RBI coming into today, but boy, he's been good this afternoon. Let's see if Pirates are somewhat careful with him. With Jordan Beck on deck, who came into today hitting 167 and is 0 for 2.
Bouchard in his 11th game. facing the righty Ortiz. Diaz at third, Rogers at second. 0-2 count. And foul. Paul Skeens done for the day for the AAA Indianapolis Indians. He goes 4 1/3, gives up 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, gives up a home run. 66 pitches, 40 for strikes. Lifted toward right. Connor Joe, heck of a play. Running out of room down there. Stayed with it. Head to the bottom of the 6th. Bucks down a couple.
Pirates right fielder Connor Joe.
3-1, Connor Joe leads off.
Third time through the order for these Pirates against Ryan Feltner. Terrific play by Connor Joe. Second and third, 2 outs in this part of the game. Just a little single could make this 3-1. Could have made this game a 3-1 to 5-1. Nonetheless, all right, Connor Joe starting it off here in the bottom of the 6th.
Where Joe leads off with a base hit.
How many times they say it, Greg? You make a good play out in the field.
Happens all the time. You lead off the next inning with a base hit. Old baseball adage. Connor Joe.
And you wonder if the Pirates will try to push the envelope a little bit this inning. Meet of their order coming up. Maybe you take a shot at a hit and run at some point, or Connor Joe takes a shot at a potential curveball situation and tries to swipe a bag.
And there's a line drive to right field. There's a base hit. That'll scoot to the wall. This will put runners at second and third with nobody out on the Reynolds wrap double to right field.
Now here we go. That's what we're looking for, Greg. I talked about it a little early in the game. Just try to, if the Pirates can just get a couple situations like this, like a couple innings ago when O'Neill Cruz had a double with runner on first. Here, Brian Reynolds a double with a man on first and nobody out. Now you got 3, 4, 5 coming up. It's exactly what you want to do, especially this part of the game. Third time through the order against the starter. Try to get his back against the wall a little bit. Infield's going to be back except for the first baseman.
Hardest hit of the day for the Pirates, 106 miles an hour. And here is Ke'Bryan Hayes, the man of the hour. Gold Glove figurines given away to the youngsters today. He singled in the 4th and scored on the ground out by Tellez. Infield back. And that'll do the trick to bring home 1 and then also move Reynolds to third. So Hayes makes it a 1-run game as Joe scores.
You know what I call that, right?
I do know now. That's a quab.
That's a quab. Very nice.
That's a quab with a ribeye.
Get the runner in, move the runner over. Infield's going to be drawn in now. If you're O'Neill Cruz, try to get that ball up in the zone if you can. Lift something to the outfield, score this run. Maybe you can do a little more damage.
Cruz was credited with a double in the 4th. A fly ball that hit off the Clemente wall.
Oh my.
Within furniture and mattress strike zone. And that will also do the trick. Deep to right center field, and it's a Cruz missile. Look out, Miller Landing. O'Neill Cruz launches his 5th, and the Pirates take the lead.
Well, O'Neal Cruz misses a home run in his last at bat by about 7 feet. This one an absolute no-doubter, just over the Miller sign in right center field. He knew it right off the bat. We got ourselves a new ball game.
Number 5 for Cruz. Now he can watch. He thought the other one was a home run. Just like that. Cruz's second home run of the series. Another look, another angle.
And just for the record, Greg, I've done this whole inning, half inning standing up.
Oh, nice.
So I'll take partial credit.
Yes.
For 3 runs.
Not that you're superstitious.
Nope, not at all.
429 feet. Bailey Falter reacts. Andy Rodriguez. Pirates now lead 4-3.
Love to see it, Greg. You love to see it. Like I mentioned, just getting a pitcher back against the wall, giving yourselves those opportunities. They may not always lead to runs, but if you don't put the pressure on many times a game, especially to the starters, it's tough to push those extra runs across. And more mistakes are usually made in those situations, just like you saw right there to O'Neal Cruz. And guys like that, when they find the barrel and it's in the air, it usually is not coming back.
The leadoff hit by Connor Joe. The Reynolds double. Hayes brings home a run, and Cruz the 2-run homer. And this ball hit high in the air to right, near the line, near the wall, and off the top of the wall. And Tellez, not running at all, will get a break out of this because it bounces far away from Bouchard. But Tellez thought that was gone. And he's thankful that ball bounced hard off that top of the wall. You get different bounces off the Clemente wall. It's a double.
3-1 pitch right here on the inner half. And he misses a home run by about 10 feet. And you're right, Greg. We got very fortunate. This ball took a huge bounce down on the warning track because Rowdy might be standing on first base. And
man, that would have been embarrassing had that ball not bounced away from Bouchard. But he's at second, and here is Olivares. Bounce to third. Olivares is the second out. Brings up Jack Sawinski. O'Neal Cruz and Ke'Bryan Hayes taking a look at the iPad. Andy Rodriguez, yes. Prayers answered. Thank you.
Oh, and I know a lot of people out there might say, these guys haven't been winning a ton of games lately, but the season is so long, Greg. You can't really.
What did you say to us at the Open? You said it time and time again, not just today, but you say it. You remind us all. Hey guys, gals, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
And it's easy
on marathon day.
It's easy to get negative. It's easy to not harp, especially when things aren't going well. That why are things not going well, and you kind of take for granted when things are going well, but you just have to keep giving yourselves up to get in.
Base hit. Runner wave. Tellez chugging home, and he is going to be safe. On the opposite field, single by Sawinski, who goes to second on the throw.
Oh, Jack getting rewarded here for some good at-bats lately. Just gets this over third baseman McMahon's head. and Rowdy with 2 outs on his horse. And that's going to do it for Feltner.
That's pretty amazing that he was able to score on that. That's Bucco fan thrilled. Pirates have scored 4 times, lead 5-3, and the inning's not over. Rowdy Tellez has had an eventful day. Jack Sawinski gives him a hug as Tellez scored on the base hit to give Sawinski his 10th RBI. Pirates have busted out here with 5 hits in the inning, 3 for extra bases, and Andrew McCutcheon talking to him. Here's Grandal with that runner at second.
Former teammate of mine, Tyler Kinley, in the game. Heavy slider usage from him.
Lefty's hitting .450 off of him. Strikes out Grandal, but the Pirates 5 hits, 3 for extras, lead 5-3. Top of the 7th inning at PNC Park. We'll take a look at our Pennsylvania Western University stat of the day. How about this? 3 extra base hits moments ago. Last time the Pirates had 3 extra base hits in an inning was October of last year against the Marlins. Extra base hits there, you see Cruz, Reynolds, Tellez. Cruz the homer. Tellez, Reynolds with doubles. And now Luis Ortiz, who got the final 2 outs of the 6th, goes to work against Jordan Beck.
Think it's okay to sit down now, Greg?
No.
Okay, all right. Glad I wore my comfy shoes today.
Yeah. This game is a marathon, not a sprint. Marathoners?
Marathoners, right?
Actually, you could sit for this half inning, I think.
I think that's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
I'll stand next.
Yeah.
Inning. What do we say? Almost 40,000 plus running in the marathon?
Yeah, I think
that's incredible.
I saw 42,000, I think was the figure that I saw last. And they included Oscar Marine, who ran the half marathon, and of course Todd Tomzik, Director of Sports Medicine for the Pirates.
I drove about 23 miles to the ballpark.
So that qualifies.
Okay.
Did you do it in under 3 hours? Derek Shelton said that his father ran a marathon in Chicago not too long ago, and that a buddy of his dad's, was here today, I believe, to run in the marathon, and his dad on hand as well to watch it.
I just can't help but wonder how bad my feet would
hurt. How you feel for days
after
right?
that. You see some of these people walking around after a marathon, and they're at the ballpark. They look like they're happy as can be.
No problem. Don't have the wrap on, and how about that? Over the shoulder catch. Kind of nonchalant. That's a heck of a play by Alika Williams.
Well, we know Alika can field ground balls about as good as anybody on our team, but he clearly can make some catches like an outfielder.
Man,
that is a terrific play.
Fearless. Doesn't know where Sawinski is. HN Supermo, Alika Williams. Tremendous catch. Alan Trejo now. Williams will be leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. No surprise. Guy that makes the great play in the top half leads off the next. Pop up. Tellez over, and he does some fancy work over there. Alika Williams like.
Looks like the boys are playing football out here today. Catching some deep passes or something. This time it's Rowdy Tellez's turn.
That's a nice play there. Rowdy Tellez. Fancy. Basket catch. Now back to the top of the order. Brenton Doyle. And he pops it up.
Times. We can do it 3 times. Come on.
Yep.
Oh, keep the momentum rolling, boys.
Stand up. Baseball is presented by Highmark, the official health plan of the Pirates, because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. And by McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand behind it, so you can stand in it. Looks like they're in the clubhouse store, and back out in the sunshine, the family. A lot of kids here. Time for the Miller Lite moment, proud partner of the Pittsburgh Pirates. How about these moments?
We've been waiting on this inning like this for a long time, haven't we, Greg?
Oh.
A couple weeks now, and I was hoping that it would come on this beautiful Sunday here in Pittsburgh. Even just an inning to get guys rolling, to have good at bats, and that's exactly what we saw in the bottom of that 6th inning.
Alika Williams, the only Pirate not to bat last inning. Tyler Kinley got the last out, struck out Grandal as he relieved Feltner. Left. Back. Aroldis Chapman getting ready for the 8th inning.
We saw him warm up in yesterday's game for potentially the top of the 10th inning, so good to get him back out here and get some work. 5-3 game going, at least a 5-3 game going into the top of the 8th for the Pirates. Connor Joe, the guy that started the rally, he's 1 for 3 on the day here in the bottom of that 6th inning, sending 8 guys to the plate.
Connor Joe calls timeout. How about this Pennsylvania Western University educating you note? Last time the Pirates had 5 hits in an inning, September 23rd last year against the Reds. It was the 8th inning. They had 5 hits. Big swing. So a couple of different nuggets. Last time the Pirates had 3 extra base hits in an inning was October 1st last year against the Marlins. And you got to go back to September 23rd last year. Last time they had 5 hits in an inning, and Connor Joe led off last inning with a base hit. It's now 1-2. The former Colorado Rocky, Connor Joe, drafted in the 1st round by the Pirates in 2014. And then a long odyssey. Traded to the Braves late summer 2017 for Sean Rodriguez. And then later, September that year, Braves traded him to the Dodgers for international bonus slot money. a year in the minors with the Dodgers. December 2018, he was taken in the Rule 5 draft by the Reds. In March the following year, 2019, spent some time with the Reds in spring training, but the Reds traded him to the Giants for a minor leaguer. So he began the season with the Giants and played with San Francisco, but only 15 at bats, went 1 for 15, and was returned to the Dodgers. That was in April of 2013. Hit 300 at Oklahoma City, top farm club for the Dodgers, 928 OPS. In November of 2020, he signed as a free agent with the Colorado Rockies. Right 3 called. 2 outs, second K for Kinley. You can now stream Pirates games in a whole new way with SNP 360. Just go to getsnp360.com to watch your Bucks. Anyone in Pirates territory can sign up and watch direct to consumer, or log in with your current provider and get direct access to live games and all the Pittsburgh sports content you love. A line foul by Reynolds toward the Colorado dugout.
Two out of 3 at bats. Brian Reynolds hits balls on the screws today. 1 for a line out, 1 for a double in that 6th inning.
And 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes on Reynolds. He followed up the Joe single with that double to right. Snapped an 0 for 11 hitless drought. Hits this in the air to right center field. Hit well toward the wall. And that's going to short hop the wall. And Reynolds is thinking 3 with 2 outs, and he's going to be there easily with a triple. Ryan Reynolds, his first triple of the season.
Is perfectly placed in that right center field gap, almost at the base of the wall. Outfielders having a hard time picking up. Reynolds, as he always is, moving out of the box, turns this double into a triple. I think I saw his 3-year-old do the same thing yesterday in a T-ball game. Right?
Get you, yeah. Kid's running hard. Well, the kid's Sunday, that's the key. That's his 24th career triple, his first this year. Another look. Running hard. Ryan Reynolds, good to see. Brian Hayes. I think we're going to be hearing a lot from the late Toby Keith and Willie Nelson here at PNC Park.
I'm going to make sure I
guarantee we're not going to
know about that. Somebody needs to ask.
Beer for my horses is going to stick for a while. Foul tip 96 down Grant Street. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hayes had the ribby in the 6th. Singled in the 4th and scored. First base Montero calling for it. Oh, makes the catch. Aroldis Chapman will be coming on. Trying to win this series over the Rockies. Coming up next weekend, the Cubs in town starting Friday night, and then a 4:05 first pitch Saturday. First 20,000 fans get a free t-shirt designed by Pirates shortstop O'Neal Cruz. Thanks to U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Get your tickets at pirates.com/free t-shirts. It'll be next Saturday at the 4:05. Cubs come in. Michael A. Taylor enters the game in center. Jack Sawinski moves from center to right, so Connor Joe out of the game.
There's a Valvoline instant oil change numbers for Aroldis Chapman. His 15th game, 18 Ks in those 15 games.
Chapman appeared Wednesday. 1-2-3 seventh inning against the Oakland A's. Two balls, no strikes. McMahon was 0 for 3 against Falter. Good work from Luis Ortiz. He faced 5 batters, retired each man, got some help defensively. Connor Joe, Alika Williams, Rowdy Tellez all made nice plays. Here's Luis Ortiz in line to get the W. And now 3-1.
Aroldis Chapman been very good against left-handers this season. Has yet to give up a hit to a left-hander. The walks have been kind of the only qualm with him, getting into some sticky situations. But of course, the 18 strikeouts in 10 innings has been impressive.
And he walks McMahon. And a couple guys up in their bullpen, Beeks and Molina. We've seen Jalen Beeks, the lefty. We have not seen Anthony Molina yet in this series. Elias Diaz, 2 more hits today. Hey! 5 hits in the 3 games. Most valuable player of the All-Star game last year. Pinch hit 2-run homer in the 8th inning. Ball to strike.
This 2 of our Cuban players.
Yeah.
1 pitching and 1 catching today.
Cuban battery of Chapman and Grandal. And time call. Grandal thought he was going to head out to the mound to talk to Chapman. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. With nobody out and a runner on. Grandal, Cuban defector, attended University of Miami and was drafted in the 1st round by the Marlins. And now a pickoff.
Oh, that's big.
Boy, is that big. That's an absolute no-no if you're the Rockies.
Oh, no, if you're the Rockies right here. You said it, Greg. Wow.
Well, how about that? He's not even looking. He was looking at the plate.
In a 2-run game.
Ooh.
Oh, that'll drive you nuts if you're a manager.
Look at that.
What.
Wow. Two balls, 2 strikes on Elias Diaz. Chapman picks off McMahon. 1 out now in the 8th.
It's also another way you can make up for walks, Greg.
It's way, yeah.
Just pick them off.
Yep. You've got an acronym for everything. I wonder what a quality pickoff would be.
Let me work on it.
Yeah. 2-2. Chapman signed as a free agent by the Pirates. Diaz 101, fouls it off. Leonidas Diaz has come a long way.
You know what just hit me, Greg? You wonder with the velocity you see from him and Jared Jones and Paul Skeens when he eventually gets up here. I can't help but think about maybe a 7-inning start from Paul Skeens or Jared Jones with 10+ 100-mile-an-hour pitches, then handing it off to Aroldis Chapman, and then handing it off to Bednar, who's upper 90s. How difficult that would be for an opposing group of hitters.
That was the kind of they thought they got him on a swing. No swing over there at first, says Jacob Metz.
And certainly not to forget Colin Holderman as well in that late inning spot. The split right there almost gets the swing.
Man, he is hanging in there. Leonidas Diaz.
Pitch number 9 of this at bat.
Look at that. Shaking off Grandal. And another foul.
Make that number 10 coming up. Another split.
Man. Find a way to get Diaz. By the way, this is the first time the Pirates have ever had a Cuban-born battery combo, which is understandable. They have not had a lot of Cuban natives over the years. There he gets him. Went back to the fastball and the chase. And that strikeout was presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. The 11 pitch at bat, and finally the strikeout. Last time there was a Cuban-born battery, the Reds had Raisel Iglesias and Aroldis Chapman in 2015, and Brian Pena was the Cuban-born catcher.
I forgot about Brian Pena.
Oh, 0-2 on Montero.
Well-placed fastball right here. Montero, he's hacking.
One ball, 2 strikes. 36-year-old Aroldis Chapman trying to finish off this 8th. Chapman came to the big leagues after being signed by the Reds out of Cuba. First appeared in the major leagues in 2010. Strike 3 called. The Cuban missile. 5-3 Bucks. Of the game. How about O'Neill Cruz?
Yep, misses a homer by 5 feet there, and then the next time he says, you know what? I'm gonna leave no doubt about this one. It puts a dent canopy above the Miller bar in right center field. Big blast to get this offense going and give the Pirates the lead there in the 6th inning.
Neil Cruz. Strike from Molina.
Molina's number 7th game for him, only 11 innings so far this year. Just under a 10 ERA. Slow, deliberate motion from Molina.
David Bednar, currently a save situation. And a strikeout. As we were mentioning earlier, next Sunday is Mother's Day. Pirates and Cubs 135 celebrate mom at the ballpark. All moms and kids 14 and under take home a Pirates fanny pack thanks to AHN. Get your tickets at pirates.com. 1 week from today, Mother's Day. Tellez takes ball 1.
I'm working this week, Greg. I might bring my daughter down to a game next
Oh, that would be awfully nice.
weekend if I could. Hopefully we get some nice weather.
Looking like it's going to be pretty nice. Angels in town tomorrow for 3. Matinee game on Wednesday against the Angels. Tomorrow night, Mitch Keller for the Bucks against former Pirate Tyler Anderson. McMahon over by that shortstop position. And now a message from Bad Boy Mowers.
Front lawns and backyards of America. Bad Boy.
Edward Olivares. 1 for 3. A 1-2-3 inning. So the Renegade will come in to try and close this one out. Going to the 9th. Time for David Bednar.
There's the Valvoline numbers for David. 15th game, he's got 5 saves on the season. 17 strikeouts, those 12 innings.
He got the win yesterday. Jake Cave led off the 9th inning yesterday and fly to the wall in left center. Jordan Beck struck out, and then Ezekiel Tovar lined out to right. Olivares made a nice play on him. A fly ball to right, and Sawinski. There's one. One away as Rogers flies out to Sawinski. Stallings homered in the 2nd inning, gave the Rockies a 2-0 lead. Sean Bouchard followed with a home run. It was 3-0. Pirates scored in the 4th, and then that breakout in the 6th. Tried to save it for Ortiz. Chapman faced the minimum, but didn't walk. McMahon got the pick off, then struck out the next two. He saved number 6 for Bednar. He'd get him to 67 saves, which would be tied for 8th in the all-time Pirates saves list with Matt Capps. Mad Capper watching as we speak, rooting on Bednar. Thanks for that info, Matt. Lifted to right center. Taylor, and 2 outs.
Exactly how you want this 9th inning to go if you're the Pirates and David Bednar. 2 flyouts. The Rockies down to their last out. 2 runs to go still. Tie this game.
They're not done yet. Line drive, center field. Knocked down by Taylor, and Reynolds not able to recover. It'll go as a double for Bouchard. And it'll bring Beck, or a pinch hitter, to the plate. Jake Cave. Bednar still just not right yet. Glimpses of it, but he's just not.
He just hasn't been
Bednar-like.
Really sharp.
Lights
right?
out, yeah. He's giving up some hard contact.
I mean, man, how
Not
good
used
was
to
he
seeing
last
that.
year? Just this, when you saw him coming out, you knew that it was going to be, for the most part, 1, 2, 3. And he was going to throw strikes, and he was going to get some uncomfortable swings and weak contact and strikeouts. Pirates outfield is going to be playing in no doubles. Maybe Tellez at first place is playing no doubles right here. Ball goes in the outfield. Just keep Jake Cave off of second or third base. You're okay giving up that run if a hit is to be had.
Just foul. Again, Jake Cave faced Bednar in the 9th inning yesterday and flied out to the wall in left center field, tracked down by Michael A. Taylor. He bats for Beck. Curveball over for a strike. The inning continues. Charlie Blackmon would pinch hit. 0-1 on Jake Cave. 0-2 rather on Jake Cave. Just gets a piece. Pirates try to win back-to-back games. Win a series. 0-2. In. One ball, 2 strikes. Raise the Jolly Roger. The Renegade earns the save. The Bucks win the series and win back-to-back games. This one a comeback W.
Well, pretty good start by Bailey Falter. 5 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Those Pirate bats come alive in the bottom of the 6th inning.